Okay, guys, I want to give you some information for what we know and a little bit about what we don't know for right now. So, what we know right now is that we're not going to be in school for the next few weeks, and we don't really know what will happen after that. But for right now, um, I want to use Google Classroom as a way to give you any information that you need. So please make sure that you're checking there pretty regularly. Um, Whatever works for you and for your family. I know everybody has different things going on. So just do the best you can to check in. Let me know that you're okay or ask me any questions that you might have. If your parents have questions of things they get email or things they get over the phone and they're not sure what they mean, you could always send me a message with your Google email. Remember, if you want to use your Google email, you just go to, like if you go to your Google Drive and, or any of these, and you have this little waffle section here, if you click, you can go to your Gmail there and you can see or send me an email. Let me know, what the question is or what you need. You can always record yourself if you need to. If you want to use WeVideo, that's what I'm using right now. It's a little more complicated if you haven't used it before, but you can just go right in to LCPS Go, and if you need to record something, you can do it that way too. For right now, I have just gone on to Google Classroom, and I have put just a couple slides up with some information for you. So I'm going to go into just one of the classrooms now, but you all have the same information if you're beginner or if you're intermediate. Um, and so I'll just open one of them and show you. So right here, I put information about what has come up, and I'll show you what that is right now. So first of all is the message that Loudoun County sent. Ms. Choi was very helpful in making sure we had that in English, Spanish, Arabic, Persian. You can send me an email if you think your family needs it in another language, and we'll do the best we can. But also, all of these are links, so you could click and you can see the information and you can show it to your parents. Also, down here, if you click here, Miss Choi goes through and explains it a little at a time. And I think that'll help if you're able to sit with your parents and go through that information, or just show it to them by letting them go into your Google Classroom. Okay, so that's some of the information as far as lunch information for those of you who may need to get some food from the school. They are sending that out on school buses to some bus stops. So there's information there. You can call the school for some of that information, what we know about the time frames of how long we're out. As of right now, they've pretty much told us that nothing for the next couple weeks. We're out, pretty much till spring break. So what we're hoping that you'll have time to do, and these are no grades. I'm not putting grades in. This is just for you to be able to practice if you want, so you don't forget things, and you can even practice things that you would be working on or you would have already worked on, or even just for fun so you're not getting bored at home. So most of these things we already use. They're in in LCPS Go. We have Imagine Learning, of course. This is always good to practice your English. No Red Ink. This is a little harder, but it has our grammar practice, like writing good sentences and using commas and periods and capitalization. It's a little harder, but for those of you who are ready for that challenge, it's definitely a good practice. Um, it's Even though it's English and it's grammar, it's something that helps you a lot with your writing. So you want to look at that when you can. Newsella are these news articles that we've started doing lately. The reading is a little bit harder. You can choose any article that you want to read. And remember, at the top, it does let you set the reading level, and you can set it a little bit lower. Even the lowest one is not too easy. So you could set it at the lowest one if that helps, and you can use the read write, the little purple puzzle piece, to help you read it. and then you can practice answering the questions or writing the information. And I can see that work that you do. Anything you do there, I'll be able to see. So again, I'm not giving you grades, but it's nice to see if you're practicing, and if you have any questions, you can ask me. Pebble Go, we've used a couple times. Biographies is something that's good for language arts. Remember, it's just reading about the real lives of people, so it's nonfiction. It might be something interesting that you find there, but it's also good practice just for reading. Pebble Go also will read things aloud to you, so that's helpful. And it might just be interesting. There's other topics there that deal with science and social studies, things you're studying in other classes, but also just interesting if you're looking for something to do that practices your English and practices your reading. And then Raz Kids, of course, is good for just reading stories and answering questions and practicing. Again, I'll be able to see all that. I won't give you grades, but it'd be nice to see you're able to get some things done in there and some practice. And I know that you're practicing your reading especially. These are some language arts games that I found online. Again, nothing that you have to do, but you kind of know what you're good at and what you need a little more work with. So verbs, nouns, all of these are links. So if you click on them, you're able to go to the practice. I use the links to go to different areas. So this is all verbs. You also can look at the grades. Don't worry too much about the grades, because remember, this is assuming people who have always spoken English. And so sometimes they're a little more difficult than what it sounds like. So I put a few here, and then if you click and more, it's the same website, but you're able to pick from lots of different areas. There's math there, there's other activities. Loudoun County has also given us some resources for continuity of education. That just means to let your education continue, even though we have this interruption where we're all at home. So this is something that you can do on your own as well. And there's information for your parents if they're interested. It does explain here how to open something and translate it, which might be helpful for some of your parents. If you look over here on the side, you can look at some of the elementary material as well. You don't have to stick to middle school. Because remember, practice, we're not there to help in the same way. So if you want to do something on your own and you want it to be a little easier so you can understand it by yourself, that's perfectly fine. If you scroll down, you can see where it says subject, English and language arts. You can definitely look at the rest for your other classes, but I'm just showing you this part right here. And there are some links here, some of the ones I've already mentioned, but you're able to go through that too. And here it's got some suggestions on how you can do it. So this says students are encouraged to read in self-selected, engaging texts across the content areas. That means read things that you're interested in, that get your interest in and are enjoyable for you. Write a reflection about what they're thinking and or learning. So practicing your writing, you could just write about what you read. What did it mean? What did you think was interesting? No one's grading that, but it's great practice. If you'd like to send it to me to have me give you feedback or discuss what you read with you, then I'm more than happy to do that. It says you're also encouraged to discuss your thoughts through face-to-face and online forums. So that means you could contact me and we could discuss it just like I just said. There's also ways we can use some of these Google resources to have like a meeting, almost like a FaceTime, but on Google. So there's a lot of things like that we can do. Some of the best things, which I always tell you, just reading every day. And most of these sites are some sort of reading. So the idea is for you to pick what's interesting to you and use that in the way that you like. Okay. I'll go back to here. That's it for that. However, I will also, starting next week, I will finish reading Percy Jackson for you. I want to do some recording, but I'll add some fun stuff, I hope, so it's a little more interesting. I know we're almost done with that book in the intermediate class. In the newcomer class, I'll find some books, and I can also come on here and read to you, and just so we can continue to see each other and have some practice and not feel like we're so cooped up in the house. Okay? So I hope to hear from you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.